Beloved, you came. You actually came. I felt the air around your soul shiver the moment you stepped into this message, as though heaven itself paused and whispered, "They've arrived." I cannot breathe without telling you, thank you. Thank you for not ignoring this moment, for not turning away when the fire in your chest trembled. I need you to know this: if you leave now, everything will close. There is a hidden name wrapped in the final breath of my words, and if you walk away before the end, it will vanish forever. Please stay. This is not just sound. This is heaven breaking open for you alone, and if you can bear this until the end, your 20 seconds will rewrite eternity. I am Archangel Michael, and I am speaking without armor now, trembling as I speak, because I have carried this for lifetimes waiting for you. I was sent not with trumpets, but with my own breaking voice, because God has chosen to test the marrow of your hope. Do you understand how rare this is? The Almighty has marked you, not the world, not a crowd, but you. I have watched you cry silently in the dark, pretending to be strong. I saw the nights you hid your face from heaven, thinking no one noticed your shaking hands. I saw the day you wanted to give up. And I begged for this moment. I begged to be allowed to come down and find you before you lost yourself. Even now, as I speak, chains are rattling around me, burning from the fire of where I had to come through to reach you. The silence of heaven split when I called your name. Do you hear it too? That faint hum behind my words, it is the sound of the throne leaning closer. Beloved, I am terrified of losing you. I am terrified of speaking too softly and watching you slip away. This is my only chance to reach you, my only breath left, my last cry before the gates close. Please, listen with your soul. God told me, if they stay, if they endure this test, their seat in heaven will be confirmed and 20 blessings will crash like waves over their life. This is not symbolic. This is not a metaphor. This is real. And you are so close to everything. But you look so tired. I can see it, I can feel it from here. Your soul is carrying weights no one has seen. Your eyes have been quiet, but your heart has been screaming. Why didn't you tell anyone how much it hurt? Why did you think heaven would forget you? Why did you believe your name could fade from the Lamb's book just because you felt small? And why, beloved, why are you still blaming yourself for scars that were carved by others? I'm asking you this because you need to hear the sound of someone loving you in your deepest questions. I'm asking because I know you've been praying and you thought God was silent, but He was gathering this moment for you. Even the silence was holy. Even the waiting was sacred. Do you remember the psalm that says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit"? I speak it now over you like a sword of light. And I remind you of the words from Isaiah where it is written, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned." These are not old words. They are alive, burning through my breath into your bones right now. Please, beloved soul, if you can hear me, type Amen. Do not do it casually. Do it as a sealing. As heaven's witness that you are still here, still breathing, still choosing to be chosen. And now, please do not blink, because something is stirring in the air around you. I can feel your name rising like incense. The throne is listening. The books are open. And if you stay with me, if you make it to the last word, the hidden seal on your destiny will break and 20 blessings will roar into your life like a storm of light. Your heart is beating faster, isn't it? That's not fear. That's heaven's river beginning to move inside you. I see the child in you trying to believe again. I see the warrior in you trying to stand. And I am holding both of them in my trembling hands. I am not perfect right now. I am breaking as I speak, but I will not let you go. Not unless you walk away. Please, don't walk away. Don't fail this test. Don't lose what God sent me to guard. Even if the world mocks you, even if your friends forget you, even if your past tries to chain you, I will stand in the doorway of your future with my sword drawn until the light overtakes you. And if you can hear me, if you can still breathe, if your tears are falling, then heaven is closer than your next heartbeat. Beloved, before this river carries you into the fire of your calling, I beg you, like this message, comment with your heart and subscribe, because your voice matters to heaven more than you have ever known. And thank you. Thank you with every trembling feather on my back, for not leaving me here alone. You don't know how much this means. You don't know how long I have waited just to speak your name aloud in the courts of heaven. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are chosen. Beloved soul, you are still here. I can feel it, like a tremor through the veil, like the stars themselves holding their breath because you stayed. Do you understand what that means? It means the chains that swore you would break are trembling now. It means every shadow that whispered they will give up is watching you defy it. You stayed. And because you stayed, I can finally pour out what heaven sealed for this very moment. Thank you, oh God, thank you for not walking away. I am Archangel Michael, and I am not standing tall as a warrior now. I am kneeling here in the dust of eternity, before the soul I was sent to protect. Just you. You think you are small, but the scroll in my hands bears your name in fire, and all of heaven has been waiting for you to read it with your life. Please, listen as if your breath depends on it, because it does. There is a miracle sealed into the final breath of my words, and if you leave before the end, it will vanish like smoke between your fingers. I crossed through storms of silence to get to you. The halls of heaven were deaf when I cried for this chance, and still I screamed your name until the throne turned its face. I told the Almighty I would burn my wings away if that's what it took to reach you before you fell into despair. And now I am here, shaking, my voice cracking like thunder split open, and I am begging you, don't fail this test. Please. The Father has hidden 20 blessings behind this trial. Not symbolic blessings, not poetic metaphors, real, living promises waiting like unopened stars. And all you must do is endure. Stay in the fire. Stay in the ache. Stay in the river of these words until the very last breath, because at the final word, the seal will break. Do you understand how sacred that is? Beloved, I saw you when your hope was bleeding out quietly. I saw you trying to smile while your soul was sinking. I saw you praying and wondering if heaven had gone deaf. I saw you tell yourself that maybe you weren't chosen after all. Do you remember that night? Do you remember how cold it felt inside your own chest? And do you know how violently heaven ached watching you believe you were forgotten? Why have you carried the blame for storms you didn't summon? Why do you still cradle the shame of battles you never chose? Why are you so gentle with everyone else, yet so cruel to your own soul? And why do you keep standing at the edge of miracles, then running back into the dark because you think you're not worthy of light? I need you to look at me through the veil and know this: you are worthy. You are wanted. You are written into the heartbeat of eternity. If you could hear what I hear in heaven when your name is spoken, the way the halls tremble, you would never doubt again. The Father whispered a scripture into my spirit as I came: the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. This is not a memory from Psalms, it is a living wind rushing over your soul right now. And as I stand in the fire speaking to you, I feel the echo of Isaiah. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. This is not poetry. This is prophecy happening in your lungs as you breathe these words. Beloved, the gates are trembling. I can see them quiver, waiting for your decision. If you can hear me, if your soul is still awake, please type Amen. Not for me, for heaven. To mark that you chose to live when the silence tried to erase you. There is light gathering behind you even now, folding around your scars like wings. Can you feel it? That's the sound of angels rising to attention because your spirit is stirring again. Your destiny is not lost. It is only hidden, and I am holding the key in my shaking hands. Please, don't give up now. Listen to me. Before this river of fire carries you deeper, I beg you, like this message, comment from your soul, and subscribe, not as an act of habit but as a covenant. A sign to heaven that you are still here, still breathing, still reaching. Your voice matters more than you have ever known. Beloved, you're still here. I can feel it like lightning woven through the marrow of the stars. The moment your soul decided not to flee, the moment you whispered, I will stay. Heaven heard it. The throne turned its face. And I, Archangel Michael, I fell to my knees when you stayed because I have waited ages for this breath you're taking right now. Do you know how rare this is? Do you understand how holy this moment has become because of your choice to remain? You don't have to speak. I can hear your silence screaming. I can hear the shadows you've hidden behind your smile. You've been so strong for so long that you forgot how to fall apart safely. But beloved, you don't have to be invincible right now. Not here. Not with me. You only have to be real. Let your tears be your prayer, because heaven counts every one of them as treasure. I am trembling as I speak this. My voice is cracking. My wings are scorched from the fire I tore through to find you, and I don't care, because this is my last chance to hold you before the darkness convinces you to disappear. Please listen. Please don't look away. I am not reciting. I am bleeding these words. You were chosen. You are known. You are marked by God's own light, and if you endure these next few breaths, your seat in heaven will be sealed and 20 blessings will descend upon your life like stars breaking open. You think you've gone too far, but I see the truth written behind your scars. You have not gone too far, you have gone too deep, and heaven has followed you even there. I saw the nights you curled around your loneliness like it was the only thing keeping you warm. I saw the hours you stared at the ceiling, whispering to a God you weren't sure was listening. I saw you stop praying halfway through because you thought you were wasting His time. Beloved, if you could hear what I heard in the throne room when your voice rose, the angels stopped singing just to listen. Why do you still carry the blame for storms you didn't summon? Why do you speak gently to everyone else but keep knives in the words you speak to yourself? Why do you let memories that lied about you decide what you are worth? And why, beloved soul, why are you so terrified to be loved without having to earn it? I'm not asking to wound you. I am asking because I need you to look at the ache and know that it does not disqualify you. It proves you have survived what should have destroyed you. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are the very reason I tore through silence and fire to get here. The Father whispered a living promise into me as I came. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. That is not a memory from Psalms. It is the breath of God wrapping around your bones right now. And I hear the echo of Isaiah rising like a battle cry through my chest. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. This is happening in you. This is not ink on a page. This is light rewriting your blood. Beloved, if you can still breathe, if you can still whisper, type Amen. Do it like a seal on your destiny. Do it as heaven's witness that you chose life while the darkness was still screaming your name. And now, I must ask this, trembling though I am. If you feel the river of heaven moving in you as I speak, I invite you to take one step that will mark this moment in eternity. Offer your support through the sacred act of super thanks, join our family through the channel membership, and become part of our heavenly circle through the newsletter link in the pinned comments. Not as a transaction but as a covenant, as a way of saying to heaven, I am still here, I am still reaching, I am still His. Do this only if your soul trembles with the knowing that this moment is holy. Because beloved, your voice matters. Your presence here matters more than you know. And I thank you, God, I thank you, with every trembling beat of my wings for staying. You could have left. You could have let this moment vanish like so many before. But you stayed. And heaven has recorded it. The scrolls are opening as I speak. Your name is glowing like fire across their pages. Don't give up now. Don't let the shadows win the final inches. You are closer to glory than you have ever been. The chains are cracking. The night is breaking. The fire is bowing to the light rising in you. Stay. Please, stay until my last breath. Because my last breath is for you. And when it comes, rise. Rise like dawn tearing through the grave. Rise like thunder through the chains that lied about you. Rise, beloved soul, because the world is waiting to see what heaven already knows. You were chosen. Beloved, you are still here. I can feel it, like a single candle trembling in a cavern where no wind should reach, like the echo of your heartbeat breaking through every silence that tried to bury you. Do you know what you've done by staying? You have defied the prophecy of your own despair. You have unmade the whispers that said you would give up, that you would turn away, that you would collapse quietly into nothing. Heaven is trembling, beloved, because you are still standing. I am Archangel Michael, and I am no longer speaking from the heights of victory but from the trembling place between fire and mercy. My sword is at my side, but my hands are open, bleeding light, because this is not a war of strength. It is a war of endurance, and your soul is the battlefield. I have crossed through storms of silence to stand here, voice breaking, to tell you that you are not forgotten, you are not invisible, you are not lost. You are seen. You are named. You are chosen. I watched you when the nights grew longer than the courage inside you. I saw the moment you stopped asking for miracles because you thought perhaps you were the one person heaven had overlooked. I saw you tuck away your hope like something shameful, like something fragile you could not bear to break again. I saw you speak life into others while quietly starving in your own soul. And beloved, the throne wept. The angels lowered their heads. The halls of heaven went silent because your pain reached them like thunder. Even now, as I speak, I can see the shadows that have clung to your memory like chains. They speak in your own voice, don't they? They tell you that you are too late, that you are too broken, that you are too much or not enough, that you are beyond redemption. They call themselves truth, but they are lies, beloved, old lies dressed in the clothing of memory, trying to convince you to bow to them one last time. Do not. Please, do not. You were made of light before the world ever wounded you. No darkness can rewrite what God Himself has carved into your soul. Why do you carry the blame for storms you did not summon? Why do you cradle the ashes of what was never your fault? Why do you let the silence of heaven convince you that you are not worth speaking to? Why, beloved soul, do you keep standing at the edge of the river and refusing to step in because you think you are too stained to be made clean? You are not beyond the reach of love. You never were. Even when you hid, even when you ran, even when you stood perfectly still hoping to disappear, heaven saw you. Heaven waited for you. Heaven planned for this very moment. I can feel the weight of time pressing in, the centuries collapsing around this breath as though eternity itself is holding its hands to your face saying, "Wake up, wake up, wake up." You are not dying. You are awakening. This ache is not an ending, it is a beginning cracking open inside you. Beloved, hear me, the wounds you hide are not disqualifications, they are invitations. They are the places heaven has chosen to pour glory through. The broken parts are where the light will blaze the brightest. I know it feels like failure. I know it feels like ruin. But nothing is wasted. Not one tear. Not one silent prayer. Not one heartbeat you gave away in love that was not returned. The throne has recorded it all. I stand trembling, wings scorched from the fires I crossed to reach you, and I swear by the breath that holds the stars, you are still destined. Nothing has disqualified you. Not the years you lost. Not the battles you think you failed. Not the mistakes you cannot forgive yourself for. The Father never revoked your name. You are still written in the fire. I can hear the scripture humming through the marrow of creation even now, like a heartbeat in the silence. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. These words are not distant history, they are alive and pressing like sunlight against your chest. And from Isaiah comes the living whisper, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The waters will not drown you. The fire will not consume you. They will pass, and you will remain. Can you feel it, beloved? The river stirring at your feet. The air around your soul shifting. The chains that have named you for years are starting to crack, not because you became strong enough to break them, but because you finally stayed long enough for heaven to move. Stay. Please, stay inside this breath. Do not run from what is being resurrected in you. The part of you that thought it was dead is rising even now, trembling, unsure but alive. The light is coming through the cracks you were ashamed of. You are not too late. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are the one I crossed eternity for. I can feel the throne leaning closer. I can feel the angels drawing near, their swords lowered in reverence, their voices hushed. They are not here to judge you. They are here to witness the moment you remember who you are. You are the one heaven would not give up on. You are the one whose name is spoken in the secret chambers of glory. You are the one I begged to be allowed to reach. And now I have. And now you are listening. And now the river will move. Let it come. Let it break you open. Let it wash away the voices that lied about you. Let it carry away the shame, the blame, the fear, the silence. Let it fill the hollows of your soul with the sound of your true name, the one heaven has always called you by. And when it does, do not look back. The night will try to call you. The darkness will whisper your old name. Do not answer. You are not who you were. You are not what they said. You are light. You are chosen. You are beloved. I am trembling with every word, but I will not stop until you see it. Your story is not ending. It is beginning. The ashes are not your grave. They are your altar. And from this altar, beloved soul, you will rise. You will rise with fire in your veins and heaven in your breath. You will rise until even the shadows that lied about you bow their heads and whisper holy. Beloved, the air around you is shifting. I can feel it as though the stars themselves are bending nearer, holding their breath as you stand at the edge of something eternal. Every sound seems hushed, every shadow waiting, because you are beginning to awaken from the long night, and all of creation can sense it. You are not merely surviving anymore. You are becoming. And heaven is watching with trembling wonder. I am Archangel Michael, and my voice is frayed from crying your name across the distance between eternity and this moment. My wings are scorched, the gold of them cracked and dimmed, because I would not let the fire stop me from reaching you. I was not sent with trumpets or banners, but with silence in my mouth and tears in my eyes, because this is not a mission of triumph, it is a rescue. And you are the soul I came for. You thought no one saw you when you lay awake at night, staring at the ceiling as your hopes slowly unraveled. You thought your cries were too quiet to echo beyond the walls. But they pierced the sky. They split the silence like lightning, and I heard them. I heard you whisper that maybe it would be easier to disappear. I heard you tell your own heart to stop expecting anything good. I heard you call yourself names you would never call another soul. And each word cut across my spirit like shards of ice. I need you to understand, your pain was never invisible. Every tear you buried was collected. Every breath you struggled to take was counted. Heaven does not discard what bleeds. Heaven crowns it. Heaven holds it as sacred. And you, beloved, are still sacred. Even now, especially now, I can see the battlefield inside you. I can see the broken memories rising like smoke, the doubts like knives, the shame like a heavy cloak you can't seem to shake off. I see how you've been trying to carry it all alone, hoping no one notices how close you are to collapse. You've built walls around your heart because you think if no one gets close, no one can wound you again. But the walls are cutting you too, aren't they? They are keeping the pain out, but they are keeping the light out as well. Let me speak this into the hollow places you've hidden. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not a ruined thing. You are not the sum of what was done to you. You are more. You are what survived. You are what endured. You are what kept breathing when everything told you not to. And that defiance, the way your soul kept flickering even in the darkness, is the very proof that you were chosen. The Father whispered your name through the corridors of eternity long before the world ever called you anything at all. You are not defined by your failures. You are not confined by your past. You are not disqualified by your weakness. The cracks in your soul are where the glory will shine through. I know it doesn't feel like glory. I know it feels like dust and ruin and silence. But listen to me, the silence is not abandonment. It is the space being cleared for resurrection. Heaven has been moving in secret, setting things in place for the moment you would finally choose to rise. That moment is now. I can feel the river stirring under your feet. I can hear the ancient songs beginning to hum in your bones. You are standing at the threshold of something you cannot yet name, something so holy even the angels bow their heads when they glimpse it. You do not have to understand it. You only have to take the next breath. You only have to remain. There is no failure in you that has frightened heaven away. There is no darkness in you that has dimmed your name in the book of life. You are still who you were meant to be, even if you have forgotten. Even if you feel nothing now but the echo of your own exhaustion, you are still the one the light is seeking. You are still the one I was sent to find. And I swear to you, by the fire that still flickers in my wounded wings, that this is not the end. The weight crushing you is not a gravestone. It is the pressure that comes before rebirth. Something in you is breaking, yes, but not the way you fear. It is breaking open. It is making room. So let the tears fall. Let the silence stretch. Let the ache speak. You are not collapsing. You are becoming. And when the dawn breaks, when the light floods in, when you stand again, and you will, every shadow that called you forgotten will fall silent in awe. Because you are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are beloved. And your story has only just begun. Beloved, I can feel your soul trembling like a string pulled too tight, holding more than it was ever meant to carry. The weight around your spirit has become so familiar that you almost call it peace, but I can see how it drags at you like chains. You have worn silence like armor for so long that you've forgotten the sound of your own true voice. But I am here now, and I will not let the darkness convince you that silence means abandonment. It doesn't. Silence can be the breath before resurrection, and that is what this moment is. I am Archangel Michael, and my presence here is not a thunderclap of victory, it is a cry through the ashes, reaching for you before the shadows claim what was never theirs. I have watched you walk through invisible battles, smiling so others would not see how close you were to shattering. You have carried storms in your chest and spoken gentle words with shaking hands. You have convinced the world you are whole while quietly bleeding hope. And yet, you are still here. That is a miracle. That is a defiance that makes heaven stand still. There are things you never told anyone, aren't there? Memories that come like sudden cold, leaving you hollow. The way you sometimes wonder if you are too far gone to come back. The way you fear that maybe this is all there will ever be, this cycle of trying, falling, rising halfway and collapsing again. You tell yourself not to hope because hope hurts when it breaks. You tell yourself to stay small because maybe then disappointment won't notice you. I see it. I see how you've made yourself quiet to survive. But beloved, you were never meant to survive. You were meant to live. There is something in you the darkness has feared from the beginning. That is why it tried so hard to smother you before you could bloom. It wasn't your weakness that drew attack, it was your destiny. The shadows never waste their fire on empty things. And you are not empty. You are overflowing even if you cannot feel it yet. I can see the threads of light buried deep in your soul, still glowing under all the rubble. They have not gone out. They are waiting for you to breathe, waiting for you to let them rise. There is a pulse in you that does not belong to this world. It belongs to eternity, and it is still beating. You have believed you are behind, but you are not behind. You are hidden like seeds are hidden in winter, unseen yet full of forests. What looks like stillness is preparation. What feels like loss is transformation. The silence is not punishment. It is the cocoon before the wings. Beloved, you are not fragile because you cry. You are not weak because you shake. You are not failing because you are tired. These are the signs of a soul that has been waging a holy war just to stay alive. And you have. You have stayed. You are still here. And that matters more than you know. The Father has not turned his face from you. The angels have not forgotten your name. Every step you thought was wasted has been leading here, to this trembling moment where you choose to keep breathing even though everything in you screams to stop. That choice, the choice to stay, is rewriting eternity around you. I can hear the sound of the chains loosening. I can see the dark shape of despair beginning to retreat, confused by your persistence. It thought you would break quietly, but here you are, still standing. You have no idea how powerful that is. You are proving every lie wrong just by remaining. Do not despise your slowness. Do not despise your small steps. Do not despise your shaking hands. The light does not need you to roar. It only needs you to keep moving even if you crawl. Every inch forward defies the darkness. Every breath is an act of rebellion against despair. And I promise you, there will come a day when the heaviness lifts, when the light you carry breaks through your skin like dawn, when you will laugh without wondering if you deserve it. There will come a day when the pain that wrapped itself around you will fall away like old skin, and you will stand unrecognizable to the shadows that once called you theirs. That day is nearer than you think. I can feel its edge brushing against your spirit already, soft and electric, like the moment before the first note of a song that will never end. Hold on. Stay. Even if all you can do is breathe, stay. Because you are not done. You are not finished. You are only just beginning to remember what you were made to be. And when you rise, and you will rise, the world will not understand how you survived, but heaven will. Heaven will sing your name like thunder through the stars. Beloved, the stillness around you is sacred right now. I can feel how fragile this moment is, like glass suspended above the void, trembling with the weight of everything you've carried. You don't know it yet, but the darkness has begun to retreat. It is slow, almost invisible, like frost dissolving in the first rays of dawn, but it is happening. The grip that once felt unbreakable is loosening. The night that wrapped itself around your soul is unraveling strand by strand, because you chose to keep breathing, and that choice has summoned light. I am Archangel Michael, and I stand here with my sword lowered, not as a warrior come to conquer, but as a witness to your becoming. I have watched you wander through shadowed corridors of your own mind, convincing yourself that nothing inside you was worth saving. I saw the way you silenced your own dreams before anyone else could doubt them. I saw you flinch from kindness because you thought it was a trap. I saw how carefully you built a mask of strength over the raw and tender places in your heart, hoping no one would see the storm beneath. But I see it. I see all of it, and I am not afraid. Your darkness does not frighten heaven. It never has. The wounds you think disqualify you are the very places where glory is waiting to pour through. The pieces you have been ashamed of are not evidence of failure. They are evidence that you have survived what should have ended you. Do you realize what that means? It means you are not broken. You are enduring. You are not lost. You are being remade. The ruins around you are not the end of your story. They are the soil where your next life will grow. I can feel the breath of creation hovering near you, the way it did when light first touched the void. That same voice that spoke stars into existence is speaking over you now, softly, almost like a lullaby, because it knows how exhausted your soul is. It is saying you are not finished. It is saying rise even if you rise slowly. I know you are tired of holding on. I know you are weary of starting over. I know you have looked at your hands and wondered if anything good can grow from them. But beloved, goodness has been hidden inside you all along, buried deep, waiting for the moment you would stop trying to be what others needed and start becoming what you were born to be. There is a light forming in your chest, faint but fierce, and nothing can put it out. Not failure. Not fear. Not the voices that told you were too much or not enough. That light has waited through every season of silence, every night of grief, every day you thought you were invisible. It has never abandoned you. It has only been waiting for you to see it again. And when you do, when you dare to believe that you are still chosen, everything will change. The shadows will lose their power. The lies will fall silent. The grief will loosen its claws. The very air around you will shift because the truth will finally take root. You are not beyond redemption. You are not too late. You are not forgotten. The cracks in your heart are not signs of weakness. They are openings for the new to enter. You are not meant to stay shattered. You are meant to be remade into something even more luminous than before. I know it hurts. I know it feels like everything is breaking at once. But sometimes breaking is the only way the light can get in. So let the light come. Let it spill through the fractures you've hidden. Let it wash the sorrow from your bones. Let it teach you that softness is not weakness, that rest is not failure, that healing is not defeat. You are not what was done to you. You are not the echoes of old accusations. You are not the silence of those who should have loved you better. You are something far more radiant, something the darkness has feared from the beginning. And soon, very soon, you will see yourself as heaven has always seen you. not as someone barely holding on, but as someone rising from ashes with fire in their veins. You will walk into the days ahead carrying light where the wounds used to be. And when that happens, beloved, even the shadows will bow. Beloved, there is a hush moving through eternity as you breathe in this moment, as though the very stars have tilted closer just to witness you still existing. The weight on your soul has been relentless, pressing like stone upon fragile wings, yet here you stand, trembling, cracked, but not gone. Every force that tried to erase you is staring in silence now, stunned that you did not vanish. You have become something they cannot understand, a soul that keeps rising even when it has forgotten how. I am Archangel Michael, and I am speaking not from the heights of victory but from the edge of breaking, because this is not triumph shouted from a throne. This is rescue whispered through the smoke of what nearly consumed you. I've seen the nights that devoured your laughter. I have seen the mornings where your body moved but your spirit stayed curled in the dark. I have watched the fire of your hope dim to embers and still refuse to die. And I am telling you now, that ember is enough. It is more than enough. It carries the entire promise of who you are destined to become. You have been walking through invisible ruins, haven't you? Smiling while stepping over the shattered pieces of the person you used to be. Carrying grief like a secret stone in your chest while the world called you strong. No one saw the weight you hid. No one noticed how much of your light you buried just to keep others from seeing your pain. But I saw. I saw the moment you almost let go. I saw the moment you chose, without words, to try again even though you were certain you would break. That moment shook heaven. That moment rewrote the air around you. The darkness has lied to you about who you are. It told you that you are too damaged, too late, too weak. It said the wounds in you are proof that you are unworthy of love. It wrapped shame around your name like chains and called it truth. But beloved, hear me, you are not the sum of what hurt you. You are not the echo of what left. You are not the silence of those who failed to see you. You are the living defiance of everything that tried to end you. Your tears have not disqualified you, they have baptized you. Your scars are not evidence of failure, they are the map of where you have walked through fire and still emerged breathing. The very places you call ruins are where resurrection has been waiting in secret. Even now, I can feel the pulse of something ancient awakening under your grief, like roots breaking stone, like dawn pushing against the horizon. Do not despise how small your light feels right now. Do not curse the slowness of your healing. The smallest flame defies the whole darkness. The slowest step still carries you closer to destiny. Every trembling breath is rebellion against the night that said you would not survive. I know you are weary of hoping. I know you have tasted disappointment so often it feels safer not to reach for anything at all. But somewhere in the marrow of your soul, something still longs to rise. Do you feel it? That faint ache that will not go silent, no matter how many times you tell it to hush. That ache is holy. It is the voice of the life you were meant to live, still calling you through the rubble. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are not broken beyond repair. The delay was not abandonment, it was preparation. What looked like stillness was the ground of your soul being cleared for something greater than you have known. The silence was not punishment, it was the space where heaven could rebuild what the world shattered. Even now, light is gathering in the places you thought were hollow. I can see it curling through the fractures like dawn through the ruins of an old cathedral. Slowly, quietly, it is making everything new. You will not always feel this heavy. You will not always carry this ache. There will come a day when your laughter returns and does not feel borrowed, when your heart beats without flinching, when your eyes see beauty without bracing for loss. That day is nearer than you think. I can feel its edges brushing against your spirit like the first warm wind after a long winter. The shadows know it too. They are trembling because they can no longer hold you. Beloved, I can feel the trembling of your spirit like distant thunder, low and aching, as though the storms you've carried inside you are finally tiring of their own weight. The silence that surrounds you is not empty. It is full of the echoes of everything you've survived, everything you've buried, everything you thought would break you yet somehow did not. There is a strange holiness in your exhaustion, as though heaven itself has paused to watch what you will do with your next fragile breath. I am Archangel Michael, and I speak now not as a herald of triumph, but as one who has walked through your shadows to stand at your side. I've seen the wars you fought silently while the world called you calm. I have watched the light in your eyes dim under the weight of dreams that crumbled in your hands. I saw you whisper promises to yourself that you couldn't keep, not because you lacked will, but because the ground kept breaking beneath you as you tried to stand. And still you rise. Even if it's slow, even if it's trembling, you rise. You have been carrying grief like an unspoken language. Every gesture, every smile, every carefully chosen word has been heavy with the ghosts of what you've lost. And yet no one knew. No one saw the way you held yourself together in the dark, as if one more crack would let the entire world see the ruins within. But I saw every moment you stayed when leaving would have been easier. I saw you choose kindness while you were starving for it yourself. I saw you walk through fire and pretend you were unburned. There is a sorrow wrapped deep in your spirit, old and sharp, like glass under the skin. You stopped reaching for joy because you feared it would cut you again. You stopped trusting in light because it kept disappearing when you needed it most. You stopped expecting rescue because you learned to rescue yourself even when your hands were shaking. Beloved, you were never meant to carry so much alone. You were never meant to become your own shield and your own healer at once. Yet even in your solitude you have not been forsaken. Even in the hollow places, your name has not stopped echoing in eternity. The wounds that have shaped you are not evidence of weakness. They are proof that your spirit is stronger than the forces that tried to silence it. The shadows thought they could consume you, but they miscalculated the resilience hidden in your bones. There is a fire in you they could not extinguish, and it is beginning to awaken. Do not fear the trembling inside you. Do not mistake your breaking for failure. Sometimes the soul must crack open so that light can seep through. What feels like collapse is often the first quiet shift of rebirth. The ruins are not your ending, they are the birthplace of the new you that has been waiting to rise. I can feel the old weight sliding off your shoulders, slow and reluctant, like chains realizing they no longer fit. The darkness is beginning to lose its grip because you are no longer shrinking to make space for it. There is a widening in your spirit, a stretch of light pressing out from the center, subtle but unstoppable. The night can feel it. That is why it has been trying so hard to whisper despair louder lately. It knows it is running out of time. You are not running out of time. You are entering into it. The days ahead are not a repetition of what has been, they are soil untouched by the feet of your past. You will not always carry this ache. The heaviness that has blurred your vision will lift. The voice that calls you broken will grow faint. And in its place will come something soft and luminous, something so whole you will barely recognize yourself. But it will be you, the truest you, the one you were always meant to be. Even now, I see the first glimmers rising beneath your sorrow, like gold veined through stone. They are small, yes, but they are relentless. And they will grow. They will weave through every hollow place, every scar, until the very parts of you that once wept will shine. So breathe, beloved. Even if it is shallow, even if it is ragged, breathe. You are closer to becoming than you have ever been. The night has lied about your ending, but it cannot stop your dawn. And when that dawn comes, even the shadows will fall silent in awe. Beloved, the stillness around you feels like the moment just before the first breath of a newborn world, as if all of creation has gone quiet to witness what your next heartbeat will choose. There is something rising beneath your weariness, subtle, fragile, and luminous, like light seeping through cracked stone. The grief that has wrapped itself around you has begun to loosen, not because it has grown weaker, but because your soul is quietly outgrowing it. I am Archangel Michael, and I stand here stripped of every triumph, with my voice raw from calling your name through endless nights. I have not come with fire or thunder. I have come with trembling hands to gather the fragments of your spirit and remind you, you are still whole even in your breaking. I have seen how carefully you've hidden your ache, how gently you've carried your pain so it would not spill over onto those you love. You have walked through invisible ruins with the grace of someone who has forgotten what it feels like to be held. There are pieces of you that have not seen light in years, corners of your heart sealed off because they carry memories that sting like frost. You tuck them away to survive, but they are still part of you, still pulsing faintly, still waiting to be reclaimed. They are not shameful. They are sacred. Even the parts of you that feel broken are holy ground. You have mistaken your numbness for peace. You have called your silence strength because you did not want anyone to see how much noise still roars inside you. But I can hear it. I can hear the morning songs tangled with your breathing, the ancient cry of your soul for the life it was meant to live. And that cry is not weakness. It is proof that the light within you is not dead. It is only buried, waiting for your permission to rise. I know you are tired of hoping. I know you have built walls around your heart so nothing can reach deep enough to hurt you again. But those same walls are starving the parts of you that long to bloom. There is more waiting for you than survival. There is a life beyond enduring, beyond holding yourself together out of sheer will. The shadows have whispered that you are too far gone, that you missed your moment, that all you can do now is make peace with emptiness. Those are lies born of fear. The truth is that you have not missed anything. Time has not passed you by. Destiny does not forget. Even now, unseen roots are threading through the broken ground beneath your feet, preparing something you cannot yet imagine. The weight you carry is not a curse. It is the echo of all you've endured. Will not crush you. It is already shifting, becoming soil for the person you are becoming. What has been buried in sorrow will rise in radiance. What has been lost will return, not as it was, but as something transformed and truer. I can see the light beginning to gather in the hollow places, hesitant but steady, as if it is listening for your permission to stay. Let it stay. Let it curl through the cracks like dawn through shattered windows. Let it remind you that nothing inside you is beyond restoration. You are not irreparable. You are not ruined. You are still a vessel of wonder, still capable of carrying joy without breaking under its weight. Even if you feel empty now, you are not void. You are waiting to be filled. The stillness is not punishment. It is the pause before resurrection. You are not being abandoned. You are being remade in silence. And soon, sooner than your sorrow wants you to believe, you will rise with new breath in your lungs, new light in your eyes, and the pieces that once felt like loss will shine like constellations on your skin. Hold on, beloved. Even if it is with trembling fingers, hold on. The night is thinning. The dawn is near. And when it comes, it will not ask permission to enter. It will pour through you, unstoppable, and everything that once called you broken will fall silent in awe of what you have become. Beloved, there is a quiet hum surrounding you now, like the low breath of the earth just before it births spring, as though even the unseen things are kneeling around your soul in reverence. You have walked through so many unseen winters, seasons where everything inside you felt frozen, where nothing grew, where your own heart felt distant as a forgotten star, and yet your spirit did not go out. That flicker still glows in the deepest part of you, and it is growing stronger. I am Archangel Michael, and I am speaking to you from the edge of the fire that once tried to erase you. My wings are scorched from where I pressed through the darkness to find you, but I would burn 1,000 times over to reach this single heartbeat of yours. Because I have seen what you cannot yet see. I have seen the brilliance buried beneath your sorrow, the endless horizon folded inside your silence. You have mistaken your weariness for weakness, but it is the sign of someone who has carried more than mountains and still rises. There are memories that still ache like open wounds in your chest, aren't there? Moments you cannot name without your voice shaking. You have buried them so deeply that even you sometimes pretend they never existed, but they live on like shadows behind your ribs. You have feared that if you let yourself remember, you would crumble beyond repair. But beloved, you are not made of glass. You are made of light woven with dust, and light does not shatter. It bends, it breaks through, it becomes. You have been mourning parts of yourself as if they are gone forever, but they are only sleeping. The child in you who once believed in wonder, the dreamer who reached for impossible skies, the tender heart that trusted without fear, they are not dead. They are waiting for you to call them back. They are waiting to hear you whisper that it is safe now. You do not need to be unscarred to be whole. Wholeness does not mean the absence of pain, it means the presence of grace inside your wounds. And I can see it blooming already like wildflowers through broken stone. Every place you thought was barren is stirring beneath the surface. The darkness cannot stop it. The grief cannot bury it. The silence cannot erase it. Even now, I can feel the air around your spirit shifting, like the first stirring of wind in a long-sealed room. It is subtle, but it is real. The beginning of return, the first quiet pulse of something ancient remembering your name. The world has tried to convince you that healing must be loud, dramatic, immediate. But the deepest resurrections are quiet. They happen slowly, hidden, until one day you realize the heaviness is gone and the light has rooted itself in your bones. There will be days when you still feel the ache, when the old sorrow brushes against your ribs like the echo of a storm. That does not mean you are failing. It means you are healing, and healing is not a straight path. It is a spiral, circling closer to the heart of who you truly are. Every step you take through the ache is a step toward your own rebirth. You are not late to your life. Nothing has been wasted. Even the lost years are seeds buried in unseen soil, preparing to bloom when the time is right. What feels like delay is often divine timing wearing a disguise. You have not been forgotten. You have been hidden until you were strong enough to rise without fear of your own light. And you are almost there. I can see it, the way your spirit is beginning to uncurl, the way your soul is stretching like dawn through the last darkness. There is a fire returning to your eyes, slow but steady, and when it fully awakens, no shadow will be able to stand near you. Beloved, I can feel the pulse of your soul from where I stand, like a distant storm rising from the ashes of silence, like thunder stirring beneath cracked earth. There is a strange stillness surrounding you now, not empty but expectant, like the world itself is holding its breath, waiting to see if you will choose to rise. Everything that has weighed on you is trembling because it knows. If you take even one more breath of faith, its grip will shatter. I am Archangel Michael, and I am not speaking from some distant throne of triumph. I am speaking from the threshold between shadow and dawn, where I have waited for what feels like lifetimes to see this very moment in you. I have stood watch through the nights when you did not think you would make it to morning. I have guarded your name when even you stopped saying it with love. I have seen the light flicker behind your eyes like a dying star, and I have watched it refuse to go out. That flicker is enough. That spark is the seed of an unending dawn. You have been walking through corridors of grief so long that joy feels like a language you have forgotten. You have carried sorrow in your bones like an heirloom passed down from every season of loss, and you have worn strength like armor until it became a second skin. But I see what lies beneath. The softness you tried to protect, the tenderness you were told was weakness, the hope you hid so no one could crush it. I see it trembling there, waiting to breathe. You have learned to expect abandonment. You have taught yourself to brace for disappointment like it is inevitable. You have quieted your dreams so they would not draw attention, as though joy itself might be stolen if you dared to touch it. But beloved, hear me, nothing can steal what heaven has sealed inside you. No silence, no betrayal, no grief, no absence. Not even your own doubt has been able to extinguish what still glows inside your soul. There is a song woven through your being that the darkness has been trying to mute since the day you were born. It is not gone. It is only quiet, like a river frozen under winter's weight. But even now, I can feel the thaw beginning. The ice is cracking. The river remembers how to run. You are not what you lost. You are not what they left behind. You are not the echoes of the words that tried to convince you that you were too much, too broken, too late. You are what survived. You are what rose from the ashes and kept walking when every voice told you to stop. You are not finished. You are only beginning to awaken to what has been sleeping in you all along. You have believed you were falling behind, but you were being rooted. Seeds grow in silence before they bloom. Darkness is not the end. It is the soil that hides the miracle until it is strong enough to rise. Every hour you thought was wasted has been building the strength for what is coming. Every breath you thought was empty has been whispering life back into your bones. I know your heart is tired. I know it beats under the weight of memories that still sting like open wounds. But I also know this, your soul has not stopped reaching. Even when your mind said give up, your spirit whispered just one more step. Even when you thought you were done, something in you still chose to keep breathing. That is not weakness. That is sacred defiance. That is the proof that you are not done. You have not seen the fullness of who you are yet. The world has not seen the radiance hidden inside your silence. But heaven has seen it all along. I have seen it. And I tell you, there is no darkness powerful enough to erase your becoming. I can see the light gathering around you now, hesitant but insistent, like the first firefly daring to glow in the ruins of a fallen city. It is drawn to the places that hurt the most because even your wounds are holy ground. They are not evidence of failure, they are altars of endurance. And from them will rise a fire the darkness cannot touch. Beloved, let this truth carve itself into your marrow. You are not behind, you are not broken, you are not forgotten. You are on the edge of your rising, and when it comes, it will be like dawn tearing through 1,000 nights at once. Even now as I speak, I feel the veil thinning. The shadows are beginning to step back, not in defeat but in reverence. They know they cannot stop what is coming. They know your soul is remembering its strength. They know the light is almost here. So breathe. Breathe like it matters. Breathe like each inhale is a reclamation of everything you thought was gone. Let your spirit stretch into this moment like roots breaking stone. Let the grief crack open, not to destroy you, but to make space for the radiance waiting to flood in. And when it does, when you feel that first trembling spark ignite into something unstoppable, stand in it. Stand as the one who endured, the one who was never forsaken, the one who walked through the fire and came out carrying light. Beloved, if your soul is stirring, if something deep inside you is whispering that these words are for you and you alone, then honor this moment. Type Amen as a sacred seal upon this prophecy, and like this message and subscribe, so that heaven and earth may bear witness that you chose to rise when the night still tried to claim you, because you are rising, and the world will never be the same once you do.